Hello, and welcome to Simple Man Sermons, the preachings of a simple man called by God to share the good news of Jesus Christ. Been trying something new as of late, putting out shorter episodes throughout the week, because who couldn't use more God and Jesus in their life in the daily grind throughout the week? Today is going to be reading of some parables told by Jesus. And if you hear some background noise, that is due to the thunderstorms outside. How about the parable of the 10 virgins? Then the kingdom of heaven shall be likened unto 10 virgins, who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. Now 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. Those who were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. But while the bridegroom was delayed, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight a cry was heard, Behold, the bridegroom is coming. Go out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise answered, saying, No, lest there should not be enough for us and you, but go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. And afterwards the other virgins came also, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Assuredly I say to you, I do not know you. Watch, therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. A few things on this parable. I think many people who call themselves Christians today that don't spend time reading their Bible, if you started this parable and stopped and said, what should the 5 wise virgins do? They might answer very differently from what the wise virgins do in the parable. And notice they're called wise virgins. They're not called mean or stubborn or ungracious. They're called wise. And then also notice again the end of this parable. Watch therefore. This is Jesus saying this. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. And many, many times Jesus says, watch and be ready, watch and be ready. In fact, just a page prior in my Bible I have highlighted, watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. There will come a day, because the Bible tells me so, that every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess before God and give an account of things done, whether good or bad. We are called to live our lives in a way as to be ready. Be ready. If Jesus comes right now, are you ready? If trial and tribulation come now, are you ready? He says this when he talks about the great tribulation at the end of the age. He talks about his followers going through that tribulation, and he says, watch. We're called to be ready. Are we ready? The parable of the talents. This immediately goes after that in the Gospel of Matthew. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his own ability. And immediately he went on a journey. Then he who had received 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5 talents. And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more also. But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. So he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I have gained 5 more talents beside these. And his Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You are faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. enter into the joy of the Lord. He also, who had received 2 talents, came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I have gained 2 more talents besides them. And the Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord. Then he who had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you were a hard man, reaping where you had not sown, and gathering where you had not scattered seed. And I was afraid, and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. But the Lord answered and said to him, You wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I had not sown, and gathered where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Some thoughts on this parable. Use the talent, the resources, the gifts that God has given you. They're meant to be shared, they're meant to be multiplied, they're meant to be used. It strikes me that God gave the most talents to the one who used them and multiplied them the most. But no matter how much he gave each servant, it didn't matter. They were to use and grow the talents that God had given them. They were to use and grow the resources that God had given them. So you, likewise. Perhaps this is a gut check to me and to you. Make sure we're making the most of the talents and gifts that God's given us. For God is not foolish. He doesn't do anything superfluous. If we're not using the talents he gave us now, why waste more resources? Use what you've been given. Multiply what you've been given. It's a gift from God. It's meant to be grown and shared. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day.